Nostalgia, a concept brought to us by our minds. It comes to us whenever we look or think about something that used to give us eternal bliss. It's something that I know all too well. At the moment of writing this, I'm 25 years old. I've lived a quarter of my life, and saying that gives me a mixture of joy and sadness. I just know that now, as a grown man, I will never get to do the things that I used to do as a child. And this isn't really something that just comes to my mind every now and then. This is actually something I think of a lot, and I'm pretty sure it already adds to my depression. But don't be sad because it makes you cry. Feeling nostalgic is like mental therapy. You should actually feel happy that you got to do things that made your childhood better. You know that feeling you get when you think you've lived this time in a dream? I know there's a word for it, deja vu. Or perhaps it could be you just repressed a memory so much that now it feels like a fever dream. The power of the human mind is really mind-boggling. Now, nostalgia could come in a few forms: memory, sound, imagery, even smell. For me, it mostly comes in memory. Most of the time, I think half my childhood was literally all in my head. Like, there are things that I'm certain that I've done before as a child, but then thinking about it more, it just makes me backtrack and say, I probably never went through that. For example, why do I try to convince myself that I've played around in a sunflower field? There's probably some scientific reason on why we think of these things if we have repressed certain memories. But then if that's the case, did I actually play around in a sunflower field? Another example is locations. So when I was little, I had to go through these learning programs because I had a disability. And in the middle of the school day, I had to transfer over to another school because the school I was attending didn't provide any special need classes. Here's where it gets trippy. While thinking about this, I was looking on the internet and I found a photo that resembles, or probably is, the classroom that I have attended special need classes. Very weird, it blew my mind the first time I saw it. Alright, now what about sounds? Sound nostalgia can bring you back to the days where you just didn't have a care in the world. I'm constantly going back to listening to songs from the 2000s and just remembering that I had an MP3 player. And if you guys didn't have an MP3 player, then you probably had that round disc player with the earbuds. Now, it doesn't have to be just music. Movies and TV shows are a big factor too, especially for me, and I don't know why. Pokemon Mewtwo Returns. I remember having this movie on VHS when I was little. Yes, children, VHS. It looks like this. It's been a hot minute since I've seen this movie, but oh boy, it was on every damn weekend. I still remember the plot too. Ash, Misty, and Brock, they go on this journey to find this Pokemon sanctuary. They bump into these two scientists who are also on a journey to find the sanctuary. But little did they know, once they reach the sanctuary, one of the scientists they were with is actually a spy who works for the villain of the movie, Giovanni. Then all the Pokemon in the sanctuary get kidnapped, which brings the attention of Mewtwo. An all-around great movie, and I have no idea what Pokemon is up to these days. Nostalgia just has a way of making you want to live in that moment forever. Times where I wish I could just go back and relive everything. Not time travel, but like just go to sleep and then wake up a kid again. Of course it would be scary at first, but once I get my bearings together, I would know everything I have to do. And don't the simplest things in life make you say, damn, I'm living? Swimming in the rain, bike rides with the crew, having deep conversations on the side of the road. Ooh, that last one was bussin'. Going back to something I said before, doesn't it feel off-putting knowing you've been somewhere, but when you retrace your steps, you can't find where you've been? I mean, sure, maybe at one point it was there, but I guess the city took it down and replaced it with a condo or something. I'm just trying to find ways to make sure I'm not going insane low-key. But you all get the picture. Nostalgia is one great high, and you should feel happy that you did have a great childhood. And don't feel sad about it either, because one day, if you want, you could have kids of your own, and you could bring them up to have the same great childhood as you did. If any of you watching like to get drunk on nostalgia, then leave a like on this video and comment below. See you in the next one.